Have you ever felt like you're on an island in your photography business, dealing with every single thing on your own? Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Today, I'm going to share with you how I built a strong support system for my photography business that helped me get through tough times without quitting. Welcome back, my amazing photography family. I'm Sarah Petty, and I'm here to help you build a thriving photography business while also being there for your family. Look, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss out on our weekly tips and strategies. So building a photography business is not a solitary journey. It requires a reliable support system, a network of people who understand your goals, appreciate your work, and provide the much needed guidance and encouragement when things get tough. But how do you build such a support system, especially if your partner or spouse isn't on board? Well, grab a hot cup of tea and let's dive into my experience and tips to help you establish your own support system. Now, let's dive into the first pillar of my support system, my family. I can't stress enough how important they have been in this journey, but maybe not in the way you think. Let's discuss how to involve your family in your business. And I really want to make sure you hear this. First off, when you're going to your person, whether it's a spouse or a partner or a parent, and you're looking to persuade them to support you in growing your business and investing in your business, I always teach this to my students who want to invest in my programs, because a lot of times their spouse says, "Oh, honey, just keep doing what you're doing, you're fine." And they're struggling so badly inside. And so we teach them, hey, go to your person and explain, look, for years, I have tried to grab random puzzle pieces from different speakers and educators online at conferences, and I'm trying to put them into a puzzle. And I don't even have a picture on the box. And look, now I've found my mentor. She has a program that shows me A to Z what I need to do. I want to invest in myself, and I've already made this decision, and I would really like your support. Versus permission. Permission sounds like, hey, I met this lady online who teaches some photography things, and here's the price. Can I do it? Oh, baby, let's just wait, and we've got to fix the car, and we've got school tuition due, or whatever the conversation is. We know that the people who love us, their job is to keep us safe. Their job is to keep us from taking risks and get hurt. So you might even say, I know I failed before because I was guessing. I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have a system, and I am now ready. So when you're going to your family, you've got to have confidence. Look them in the eye and be strong with what you're saying. Don't look at the ground and say, yeah, I know, I cry all the time about my business, but maybe I'd like to do this. What do you think? We created a tool for our community called Front Pocket, Back Pocket. What you can do is put your friends and family and the people you love, the people who love you, in your front pocket. And then you put your mentor and the other students who are learning what you're learning in your back pocket. It's always interesting because I see so many photographers who are struggling taking advice from people who aren't even running a profitable boutique photography business. Think about it. If you had children and they were fighting and you were really struggling with them, would you go to get advice from your friend who doesn't have any children? I hope not. You might, but who knows what kind of advice you're gonna get. Don't lock them in the trunk of the car or the basement. It won't end well. And neither will taking advice on how to run a profitable photography business that has a ton of competitors where everybody's giving it away cheap. That's not gonna end well either if you take advice from people who aren't doing it. Nobody told me that when I started my business. And boy, you can really build up head trash if you're not communicating your vision clearly, if you're not setting those boundaries, and if you're not making it a priority to strive for work-life balance. That's what benefits both your business and your family. That way you don't have to go to your family with your head trash and your fears and your doubts. You keep that for your back pocket and you just go to them with the good news, because it's all about balance, and it's not their job to encourage you on something that they don't know how to get you there. Next up, let's chat about the local business community in your market, because it's seriously a gold mine. Small business owners, locally owned small business owners, so people who own businesses who live in your community, that's not franchises or chains. They get it. You aren't an employee anymore. You're one of them. You are also a small business owner. So when you join small business groups, you become part of the fabric of your community and you become part of the conversation. So all of the things from attending community events, getting involved in local projects, going to networking activities, sponsoring things, going to charitable activities, it not only gives you a sense of belonging, but it also opens doors for collaborations and referrals. I think many photographers do this wrong. So really want to make sure you get this. You might want to consider writing these 4 rules down. When you're meeting people and you're wanting to partner with them, you're wanting them to promote you to their customers, rule number 1 is ask them, how can I help you? You always want to give before asking. So refer them, send them business, spend money with them, whatever you can do to give first. Rule number 2, make it about them. Don't just hop into your elevator pitch and talking about yourself. Be curious. And I know people like talking about themselves, but for me, I like learning about people. So put on your learning hat. Rule 3, start conversations. You can do it, even you introverts, truly, and just genuinely be interested in people. I hear from so many of my introvert students that, oh my gosh, I can't talk to people. Yes, you can. Start them talking about themselves and be interested, and you will have a fabulous conversation. And rule number 4, educate. Educate them on how your portraiture is different than what people do when they just offer digital files. How you're more like a sit-down restaurant where you prepare the whole meal versus a fast food restaurant where it's a quick drive-through, or even a grocery store where you're just buying raw ingredients. That's what digital files are. And so as you're talking to people, you will know in those conversations who might be a right fit for you. So put on your I'm ready hat, because everywhere you go when you're an entrepreneur, it's time to start conversations. You can do this. The third part of my support system, mastermind groups and coaching programs. I am a huge fan, and I would be nowhere near the successful entrepreneur I am without having done those things. We know study after study shows that you will go further faster with a mentor. I always have a mentor. My mentor has a mentor. His mentor has a mentor. Oprah had a mentor. Michael Jordan had a mentor. They probably still do, because they know that they don't know everything and they want to get there faster. And as you might know, I run a coaching program for portrait photographers. In this part, we'll chat about how these types of programs provide you with professional guidance, hold you accountable, and provide a community of peers who are facing the same exact challenges as you. It's like having your own personal little cheerleading squad. Let me talk about the difference between a mastermind and a group coaching program. A mastermind group is typically your higher level entrepreneurs who are getting together and they're putting the power of all of the minds together to be a mastermind. Sort of the sum of the parts are greater than the whole concept, because you get all these smart people's minds on your business. The thing that makes that work is that everybody is already succeeding. I've been in mastermind groups with a lot of different people, and I find I want to be in groups with people who are all ahead of me, not new business owners. Problem with that is new business owners throw out ideas that they aren't actually doing. A mastermind works when everybody is having success, but they're struggling with something. And so something you might be struggling with, the other people are doing really well. We have one of these for our higher level coaching students, the ones who are doing over 6 figures a year. So everybody in the room is making over $100,000, and it's fantastic. The energy is just great. Typically those programs cost more, but you're gonna get better information from a lot of different people and cool ideas. Group coaching programs are great because you have a mentor who is coaching a lot of different people who are at the same level. So if you're newer or you're not making money in your business, we have a group coaching program where we've systematized it. Everybody does their pricing together. We critique it. Then they go into talking to people on the first phone call with 7 different things they need to do. We call it the 7 B's because they all start with B. We teach them marketing. We teach them how to build a sales presentation, how to give it without being salesy. But what's great about that is that you can learn not just what you needed to know, but what the next person needed to know, which tomorrow you probably are going to need to know. So you've got masterminding, you've got group coaching, and then you've got one-on-one coaching. One-on-one coaching is typically your largest investment. I like one-on-one coaching for super advanced people who can get their return really quickly because they're just looking for somebody who's done way more than them to tweak a few things. When you're just starting out and you need a whole system, you don't need to pay what it costs to get someone whose brain can take you somewhere really quickly to pay them what their time is worth because you can get it from a group coaching program. I've done all of them. I've paid for one-on-one coaching. I've paid $18,000 in one day for one-on-one coaching. I've done $10,000 a day multiple times for one-on-one coaching because I had a specific thing I needed to solve. I went home and I made that money back. That's not something you do as a newbie because you have so many things you don't know that you've been given great things for a day, but then this thing leads to this problem that leads to this problem, and you're probably missing too many puzzle pieces to get them all in one day. That's why I love group coaching. That's my favorite because even at my level, and we always say new level, new devil, as you grow your business, you have a whole new set of needs. You have to hire people. You have to invest more in advertising, you have higher payroll, all of those things. So I always want to keep getting in a higher level room, which is fantastic, but it also costs more. Either way, coaching and mentoring is so important to me. I also have people asking me about a local coach versus an industry specific coach. I really want you to listen here because as photographers, a lot of great coaches in your city might tell you, oh my gosh, I coach all kinds of business owners, I can help. And listen, I was a marketing director in an ad agency and I worked with every kind of business. But what most people don't understand is that because as photographers, we compete with free because everyone has a digital camera. It's harder to know how to coach a photographer if you're not successfully doing it. Other people compete with someone doing it cheaper. We compete with people giving it away. And so when they tell you to discount or do mini sessions as a marketing activity, they're actually doing the exact opposite of what you should be doing. And so 100%, I go with an industry specific coach versus a local coach. An industry specific coach has experience and perspective on the industry and can also get you there faster because they've gone there. A community coach or a business mentor in your community who has never built a profitable photography business is not only not going to get you there, likely they will take you in completely the wrong direction. And I'm not saying that there might not be coaches out there somewhere who can do it, but I've had so many students come to me and tell me that they went with a local coach and I heard the direction they were given and I said, I see why you're stuck and why you're not growing your business, because that's the exact opposite of what I believe in, what I know to be true based on my 25 years of running a profitable, successful photography business and coaching thousands of photographers on how to do the same thing. Here's my filter of what to look for in a coach or a mentor. You might want to write these down because study after study shows that you go further faster with a mentor. And if you're serious about this business, you're going to want to make investing in a mentor a priority. Here's what to look for in that coach. Have they been there? Have they built that profitable photography business? One that doesn't compete on price. So I'm not talking about someone who sells cheap digital files. They're not going to get you where you want to go because if you are successful, you're working all the time and you can't put your family first. What we teach is how to make money and put your family first. So you want a mentor who has been there and has built the business that you want. I hired a coach once who I thought was doing that and was pushing me in a direction I didn't even want to go to. So all coaches are not created equally. This is why I always share how I was named one of the most profitable photographers in the US by the Professional Photographers in America 5 years after I opened my first studio, because I want you to see that I am making money and I'm able to spend all this time with my kids because I'm not discounting and undervaluing what I do. So if people are not showing you that they are doing it profitably, I would say they may not be the mentor for you. I also, number 2, think it's super important that they're still doing it. I don't know why, but in our industry, people somehow make a profitable photography business and they decide, I'm going to close it down and I'm just going to teach photographers. And they haven't done a real session since the pandemic. Guys, it has changed. I have a brick and mortar photography business. I have a studio and I never will stop photographing people. And so I had to get through the pandemic. I have to manage digital files. I have to upgrade my equipment. I have to do all the things. And so I get what you're going through. And third, this is a big one. You want to pick a mentor who has helped others do it before, and they can show you the social proof, not just, I've done it and I can teach you. You can come pick my brain, because we know that the best players don't always make the best coaches. I spent 25 years systematizing everything. And then after I did that and I was named one of the most profitable in the US, people were asking me to teach them. And so I would teach them, I would take their feedback, I would change my system, because if they didn't get one part of it, the system falls apart. I would teach it again, I would change it. I would teach it again and I would change it. 12, 15 years I did that until I got it where I knew that if people followed my system, they could consistently get results. And so that's why my business is so successful. It's not just me one-on-one sitting and talking to people. It's my entire team coaching students on a proven system that we know works. Contrast that with somebody who built a successful photography business and they're just gonna sit and let you pick their brain. Which one's gonna yield better results? The system. All day long. Last but definitely not least, let's talk about online communities and social media. They're an absolute treasure trove of resources, ideas, and connections with other photographers from all over the world. We get that, right? In this part, I want to discuss how to effectively leverage these platforms to build more of a support system that's available to you 24/7 from the comfort of your home. Listen, networking online is easy. And look, it's great for photography advice, but not business advice. So if you go online into some free photography group and you ask how you should price your 8x10, you're gonna get a lot of answers. Just like you go into some free parenting group and you ask how to do something with your children, you're gonna get a lot of advice. Are the people giving the advice someone you wanna take advice from? It's interesting because many years ago, I had a student of mine who just did one little thing with me and I critiqued her prices and her profitability. So I saw her bookwork. She was making less than $6,000 a year. And she went out there and copied a ton of our landing pages and our email copy, literally copied it, which is so horrible. That's bad karma, no matter how you slice it. But she was out there marketing with good marketing because she was copying ours, yet she had made $6,000 a year. And gosh, I see in free groups all the time how people are giving advice like, what you should do is this, when they've never even done it. They're not even making money. That's why when we have our free Facebook group, we have a community manager in there who's watching the comments and saying, no advice giving here. This is a support group, but you're not qualified to give the advice. And we love you and we're glad you are here, but we want to make sure people are getting accurate advice. Also, if you go into an online group, say a Facebook group, you want to make sure that everyone is focused on the same business model. All photography business advice is not the same. When I worked at the advertising agency, we marketed price-driven pizza places. We marketed upscale women's clothing and day spas, and we can market anything, but the strategies and tactics are different. When you go into groups where there's all kinds of conflicting advice, you don't know what to take and what not to take. It's like collecting random puzzle pieces from beautiful puzzles. They don't go together. This is why we have a community manager in our free group, and why in our paid groups where people are paying to learn our system and be coached, we set the core values at the beginning that there's no passive aggressive and there is no advice giving. You're all here as students, so we lift as we climb, we cheer each other on, but we don't give advice. Truly, if you are interested in learning how to make more money in your portrait photography business by leaving the digital files behind, selling large, beautiful wall portraits, I'm going to put a link below so that you can come and join us. And there you have it, photographer friends. Those are the key pillars that helped me build a strong support system for my photography business. And remember, you don't have to do it all alone. Really, you can't do it all alone. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, guide you, and support you on this incredible journey of photography. And listen, before we wrap up, I'd love to invite you to join our wonderful Facebook community. It is that safe space for us to share experiences, learn from each other, and support one another as we navigate our photography businesses, unlike anything else out there. So I can't wait to see you there. Thanks for watching and subscribing to our channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to right here so you can get more content to help you grow your photography business. And if you loved today's video, click here to get more actionable steps. Thanks for watching, my friend, and I'll see you in the next video.